Thank you for clicking on this edition of Conversations with Rod and Tim. We're
Yeah.
here today talking about power of attorney. And, Tim, one of the things that I've been thinking about is, a lot of people, when they go to their advisor, they want to think, okay, I can set it and forget it. And this is one of those things where even though you may have met with your advisor, it's something you need to be paying attention to on a regular basis, perhaps even on an annualized basis, because it is so vitally important, because things can happen that are out of your control.
Yeah. And I, think of estate planning, or many people think of estate planning, they think wills and trusts, and they forget these other two really important documents: power of attorney for finances and a power of attorney for healthcare. And I think you're spot on. Many times people say, oh, I have those in place. And you ask, well, when was it done? And by golly, it was 15 years ago. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And circumstances change. So we want to make sure we address the provisions, and we want documents that aren't stale.
And also available, right? You want to have them in a safe, safe deposit box, or a place that you can get to readily, because if there is, an incident or something that happens, you need to have that informed consent right away.
Yeah, what a great point, because a lot of times these documents are most needed when there's a chaos is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to think of, sometimes you want to sprinkle these like breadcrumbs outside. You want to have your power of attorney, or your agent, in fact, it's called, have a copy. You want your doctor to have a copy of your healthcare power of attorney. Maybe an adult child having copies of both of these documents. So when there is a crisis, we can get at these documents and your wishes are carried out.
And that the whole notion of informed consent, and also avoiding court problems, right? Because if this doesn't get handled correctly, the court ends up getting involved, and you don't want that.
Generally, the last thing we want is a court to determine what's best for us, right? I mean, that's why we've taken the time to have a document such as a power of attorney for finances. And maybe just stepping back real quick, this is the type of document that if you are unable to make financial decisions, you've authorized someone else to do that for you. For example, maybe you can't sign a tax return. This allows someone to do that. Maybe you can't transact business at the bank. This allows someone to do so. And then we have a separate document, the healthcare power of attorney. That's for healthcare decisions if you're unable to give that informed consent.
And you want to make sure that the people that you've lined up for this know that they're involved, so that if in fact something untoward happens, somebody's on vacation, they can be reached and manage this on a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, so who you name is clearly important. One, it's someone that you have a great degree of trust in, that hopefully you've discussed your wishes, whether it's financial or health related. And certainly you want to make them aware so they can step in if needed.
All right. Important stuff, something you want to talk with your advisor about. Thank you very much for watching, Tim. It's been fun.